Now, let's move and shift gears into still matters concerning farming, yes, but now not coffee. Let's head over to dairy farming. How is the status of dairy farming in Kenya? In this fine conversation, we would like to highlight the fact that Kenya's dairy sector is estimated at 14% of Kenya's GDP. When you talk about the 14% of Kenya's GDP, we are highlighting the fact that currently, as a country, we produce annually 5.2 billion liters of milk. The president, Dr. William Ruto, has highlighted that his administration will ensure that Kenya's annual milk production doubles. And here we are talking about over 10 billion, or at least 10 billion liters of milk every year. My name is Aguko. Let's talk about milk production in the country and dairy farming in Kenya. And I am joined by Genesio Mugo. He is the chairman of the Kenya Dairy Board. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
And as you have this conversation, ladies and gentlemen, engage with us. The hashtag, as always, is Good Morning Kenya at Aguko and at KBC Channel 1. It's a pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Genesio, let me have a go at it. First things first, the Kenya Dairy Board. Yes. What is it all about?
Kenya Dairy Board is basically the regulatory authority that is given the responsibility to oversee any issue that relates to milk and milk products. Milk products means that which is processed with milk. That includes giving permits, giving import permits. That includes giving permits to the processors. Gives permits to the people that want to do business in the dairy sector. It also includes issues to do with policy formulation. Like now we are doing the Dairy Act, reviewing the Dairy Act 2023. It includes anything to do with advisory services to the national government in terms of what is it that needs to be done in terms of the dairy sector to make it prosper, to make the people get money. It includes in terms of stabilization of prices. The president has been very firm in terms of ensuring the farmer gets profit for his work. And for us to be able to do that, Kenya Dairy Board is the one that actually looks into all those factors to be able to stabilize the prices. And finally, we also do the promotion of the dairy sector. In other words, of course, what part of the input into the pricing structure is that you need to ensure stability of various producers, stability of production, and of course promoting production and all that. So all that put together brings together what Dairy Board does. And one more thing. Yes. We also have a laboratory, internationally accredited laboratory.
Here in Kenya?
Here in Kenya. Here in Kabete, to be very specific, next to our headquarters. Specific purpose is to ensure the food safety. So we are able to trace milk that is produced in Garissa or in Busia or in Lamu.
And you test them.
And we test it, confirm quality, and then from there you can be able to feed back. And whatever that does not meet quality, then you can be able to have it removed from the marketplace so that we ensure safety of our people.
Wow. And so you give permits. You mentioned that.
Yes, we do. We give permits, yes.
Policy formulation.
Yes.
And even advisory roles.
To the government, yes.
To the government.
Correct.
Now, I would like us to start from the Mwananchi.
Yes.
Because now, and before we got on air, I was seeing some people saying they are interested in this conversation.
Okay.
Because they are dairy farmers.
Yes.
When you look at dairy farming in the country, before we get into the heavier stuff, many people want high quality cows, high quality products, and we have the desire to have high producing dairy cattle, easy to manage cattle, those that are easy to feed, easy to maintain, even when it comes to their body condition, and they want good yields, such that when you target 30 liters, you get 30 liters. But that is not what is happening on the ground.
It's not.
I know you've noticed that.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
It is a disaster.
Where are farmers getting it wrong to the point that when it comes to now the Kenya Dairy Board, you realize that there needs to be sensitization of the Kenyan farmers on the ground? Where do we miss it?
First of all, let me put it this way.
Yes.
Currently, the average productivity in Kenya is only 7%, compared to America that is 40% per day per cow.
Per day?
Per cow.
Wow.
Compared to New Zealand, which is about 42%. So what it is that we have not optimized our dairy production. And that is one of the crises that we are saying this has to be addressed.
Is it a problem that's happening
at the
problem and at the farm?
It's across. It's not basically at the farm only. It's across. And that is why the Kenya Kwanza government has addressed it at the state level, at the government level. Then from there, we proceed on to the farmer level. So where is the problem, as you have asked?
Yes.
Part of the problem is the breed. We struggle with the breed a lot. Number two, certainty of AI services. You call the people who come to support you, and then they give you a seed that's going to give you a bull.
Okay.
I mean, on top of that, we have many challenges that are bedeviling the sector. We have feeds problem, so that we don't have sufficient feed. Productivity also is affected a lot by the animal husbandry. The particular farmer, how is he handling that animal? How is he maintaining that animal? Okay. What quality feed is he giving? What quality care is that person giving that?
And that's what the problem is.
That is what the problem is. But I must say there is hope, Ram.
There is.
There is hope because, number one, currently we have very limited extension services. Professional extension services to our farmers. We have almost nil. And that is why you want to invest in it, you don't have somebody to advise you on what to do. But we are saying the government is introducing what we call feed centers in every ward. A feed center is going to be equipped with a professional who is going to help in terms of dairy production, dairy farming, and dairy animal husbandry, and the cooperative activities within the dairy sector. So to start with, we already have a center that is being formulated that is going to help farmer at the local ward level.
Every ward?
That is the intention.
Okay.
Or every ward. Of course, we're going to prioritize the areas that are going to bring, that have got high productivity potential.
That looks like a very big dream.
It is a dream. It will be assumed because one of the discussions that we need to have with the governors, because that's ideally an element that needs to be advocated and actualized by the governors. It's a very simple thing. If you're talking about the county government setting up a unit, it's not a very big thing. If you're talking about the county government setting up that, if you're to say national government, of course, it's going to be a bigger deal. But in this particular case, the county government setting up that, well...
In the spirit of devolution.
In the spirit of devolution. It's not a very big cost. And you partner together with the community, partner together with producers, partner together with the community. I can tell you that's going to be actualized. Number two.
Yes.
The other thing we've done is that government has already released funding to KAGRI. KAGRI is the one that keeps the bulls and develops the semen. And we already have a bull farm here in Kabete. We're going to have 2 more bull farms pulling together about 50 bulls per farm. One of them in Nahiti, the other one in Kirinyaga. 2 of them. What does that mean? In other words, we are going to be having the best bulls that will be developed in the country, pulling together so that we can get semen to be able to take to our farmers. And that's not enough. To assure farmers that they're going to get the cow they need, they deserve, the breed that is going to produce the best milk, in terms of quality, in terms of quantity. We are importing equipment for sexing of semen, so that you are sure when you get your AI services, you'll not get a bull. It's an assured.
Now, I want us to even go deeper into this. We may not mention all the challenges.
That's right.
We may not mention all solutions.
Yes.
But let's highlight what we can.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you've managed to, mention them, because those are the areas I really wanted to tackle.
Yeah.
First things first, we are talking about good production.
Yes.
We're talking about quality yields.
Yes.
But then how are we dealing with challenges of the modern times? when it comes to milk production? Do we have modern equipment? Do our farmers have the right tools that can enable them to bring proper yield?
Certainly that is an area that deserves improvement.
Still,
the bulk of Kenya farmers is a peasant farming economy. People have not invested so much into dairy in terms of commercialization. Yes. And because of that, in terms of investing in equipment, that's a challenge. Very few have invested in equipment. If you look at even the structure that the cows are being kept in, it's not a structure that advocates or that can sustain a cow productivity well. It's not well structured because people don't want to invest in it. But what are we talking about? Because somebody has kept 2 cows, 3 cows, 5 cows, and because of that, you cannot invest much in that. It's not commercial, it's peasant. And as long as it's peasant, you can't be able to produce enough to make it commercial.
All right, let's talk about that.
Yes.
Just a few tips for the Kenyan farmer today, because some farmers end up putting cows in that particular area.
Yes.
And they die there.
Yes.
They suffer there.
Yes.
And you advise that this is the right structure.
Yes.
Let's say you have the money and you've managed to save up for it.
Yes.
Then how do you avoid making such mistakes?
I would say that one, you need to be sure about the breed, number one. Number two, you need to get a professional who helps you to put up a structure that is good enough. Number three, you need to have somebody who can advise you in terms of the equipment that you require, milking equipment, you need other feeding equipment and all that. Number four, you need to get somebody to advise you about the feed. What happens many times, the quality of food and the combination, the concoction, to call it so in a very colloquial language, is not the right one. It's not balanced, and because of that, the productivity is low. And of course, on top of that is now how you take care of the cow. All that combined together. So in terms of lack of information is a major hindrance in terms of productivity. And that is why guys in America, guys in New Zealand, guys in other countries, because of the knowledge base, they've got a very strong knowledge base. They've been able to overcome that very easily. But the other thing I would want to say is that to encourage Kenyans, one of the biggest things that we can do, let's emphasize the element of cooperatives.
Okay.
I want to cite maybe an example of milk cooperative.
And you can highlight what that means.
Today, they pay farmers a minimum of 53 shillings.
Yes.
Whether it is rainy season or dry season. Number two, they have own extension officers that personalize services to the community.
Yes.
Number three, these guys are able, in case the dairy processor, Meru, is not able to pick enough oil, they are able to negotiate on behalf of the farmers. They're able to talk to any other buyer, negotiate for the prices. But the moment that we are not in cooperatives, what happens is that cartels, brokers, and those kind of people come and rid of the whole system.
Farmers need to join cooperatives.
Oh yes, farmers need to join cooperatives. Cooperatives become the negotiating table. I have so much power. I have one cooperative somewhere in Uasin Gishu that interests me. They collect bulk milk together, and they call the processors to come for a tendering. They come and say, how much are you buying today? 50 shillings. No, we're not going to sell to you. Boss, how much are you selling to me? I'm selling at 53. Yeah, that is good. But the other person, 54. Yeah, you guys for today, we are going to sell to this other person.
And it's working for them.
It is working for them because you have the volumes. You have the numbers. And as long as you have the volume, you have a voice. But as long as you don't have volume, you don't have a voice. Two are better than one, even the Bible says.
And you've touched my heart when you said that. When you look into some of these, initiatives farmers make.
Yes.
Let me pick an example. A farmer in Nairobi decides to go to a place like Nakuru.
Yes.
You find a nice cow.
Yes.
It looks good. It looks healthy. The skin is good.
Yeah.
The production in terms of milk is also good.
Yeah.
You're told it produces
30 liters, for instance.
30 liters.
Yes.
In a day.
Yeah.
You take it home.
Yeah.
Only for it to start withering. You see it, the body is changing, it's dying, it's now producing 5 liters.
Yeah.
where are we missing it? Because now this is a case that is affecting many farmers, and that's why we are suffering as a country.
Of course, it has to do, many times it has to do with the quality of maintenance and care for that cow.
Still quality of, all right.
It's the same case.
So we need...
But at the same time, I would say this, we recommend people not to go for the old cows. They go for the young ones that have not even calved.
Right.
Or that are just in the first calving. That is the best level to go. That's the best age to go for.
Go for the young ones.
Go for the young ones. Or even layers with Kagri, they have some breeds, and soon, and want to tell the farmers, Kagri will be selling those cows at very young age. Currently, they have not been trading. They're now going to trade with the dairy cows so that we can have them more accessible to the farmers and at a cheaper rate, more competitive rate.
So Kenyans, if you're interested in dairy farming,
talk to Kagri.
And go for the young ones.
Thank you, Ram.
Now, I'm looking into one area that is a thorn in the flesh.
Yes.
Brokers.
Yeah.
The president said that he wants to deal with brokers.
Yes.
But then, as a board, from where you sit, how do we, get a solution towards this particular menace?
We have a big issue, very big issue around that. One, I need to advise you that we have currently, we process only 48%, 58%, 42%, 58% of milk is sold informally. Back of that, about 32% is actually based on by brokers. Now, let me tell you one of the biggest problems with this menace of broking milk. Is because you're not able to, these guys earn water, they earn chemicals, you cannot tell the quality, the handling is not certified, the machinery is not certified, the carrying equipment is not certified, the hygienic conditions cannot be tested.
And some use plastics.
Some use plastics, which react to the milk. So overall is that it's just not right. Unfortunately, people don't want to invest in it. Now, how we're going to solve that is that in the current bill that we are working on, we are looking into it to see how we can be able to improve that, because we are saying, let's take all the milk into a processor. Let me tell you something else also.
Yes.
And I want to advise the farmers here. When you sell milk as raw material, the truth is that without value and addition, the truth is the price that we're getting cannot compare to somebody who is selling milk which is unearned value. Take, for instance, a kilo of pound of milk, which is going for about 1,500 today.
Yes.
Compared to a liter that is going for 50 shillings a day. You can't compare the two prices. So if the farmers can put together and pull together in terms of value addition, what that means, ultimately the end price that is going to get to the farmer is going to be a far much better price. Let me take you further to the same menace that we're talking about of the broken. If you go to some places in Nairobi today, you get milk that comes from everywhere in the world, from Far East, from Middle East, from across the place. And how is it coming? It's coming through the back doors. It's not coming through the legal routes. It's all over. The other day you saw me, some places going to raid or assisting, going to witness our teams that are doing the raiding of illegal imports into Kenya. So bottom line, what you're saying, it's a menace, it's a challenge that we're going to address two levels. One, policy-wise, in terms of the legal framework that we're improving, and I hope that the nation will support us so that we can be able to pass that bill, which is at the level of now discussing public participation. And number two, basically your policing authority.
Yes.
Policing authority means any process, any activity in the dairy sector that is not aligned to the law, we should be able to get hold of it.
We need to stop this issue. Illegal importation.
Oh yeah, illegal importation, we have to stop it, because it's destroying our sector. It's completely destroying our sector. It's compromising our prices. It's compromising our quality.
Yeah.
It's compromising our trade. Yes. And I'm saying sooner or later, we are pulling together teams, and we'll be able to get to every corner of this nation. And I need to warn those people who are going on to do that. We will find out. And majority of them are known, by the way.
They're known.
More used to say, serikali kuna mkono mrefu. At one stage you'll reach there. So we are policing authority, but we don't want to fight. We don't want to be a policeman. All what we are pleading with the community, let's do a business that is licensed, that is correct, that supports the economy. That will not fight, and we don't want to fight in principle.
I want us to move in even further. Let's talk to the Mwananchi today.
Yes,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
I'm looking at the cost of milk. It's rising, still rising, and people are wondering, our farmers are suffering. Milk is not being bought.
Yeah.
Kenyans are not buying milk. Why? Explain to Kenyans watching us today, why is it happening so? Why is the cost of milk on the rise?
I am not sure cost of milk in the rise. Where those statistics, I'm not very sure. Because in the month of June, July, actually let me say in the month of May, prices of buying milk per liter, gate price of milk at the farm level was higher than today. It was averaging at about 51 shillings. Currently, it's averaging about 49.5 shillings. So it is still lower. If I go to the marketplace in terms of the shops, I am not sure I've seen any increase of the price. It's still averaging at 54 up to 62 shillings. We keep those data. The data is firm and clear. We keep it.
You keep it.
We keep that data. So we know both the farm gate price and we know the market price of milk. It is very consistent. It's been very and I tell you what, Ram.
Yes.
I think Kenya Dairy Board should be congratulated at this particular time.
Okay. Why?
For the last couple of years,
yes, during
the rainy season, price has been going down almost always. To an extent, you remember 2019, milk was being poured in Okalau because it was going for 20-something shillings. Are we together?
It wasn't because of quality or something?
No, because of quality. It's too much. We don't have buyers.
Why don't you have buyers?
That time we didn't have buyers because there was a glut in production. Today we've been able to maintain both the forces of supply and demand to the extent, manage the balancing to the extent that we still have sufficient buyers in the market, sufficient demand. In fact, I am not aware any part of the country where milk is going for lower than 40 shillings at the worst price.
All right.
Stabilizing the price, that is one of the responsibilities that we have. And we stabilize at about 50 shillings per litre at the farm gate price. On average, of course, this is very high level average because production levels are completely different depending on the place you're doing your farming.
Yes.
Production of a litre, I think, costs about 25 shillings, 30 shillings. That means the rest is markup, the rest is margin. So people are making money.
All right. Now, final question, and
yes,
this is just to in regards to where we are at as a country. The president said that, and he promised that the administration will ensure that Kenya's annual milk production doubles from the current 5.2 billion. We're talking about 10 billion.
To 10 billion, correct.
Liters.
Yeah.
Is it achievable?
It is achievable. And government has done a lot in terms of, and we're going to still do a lot in terms of increasing that. What we've done, I'll start from the production level.
Yes.
One, remember, we have removed taxes on the feeds so that everybody now can be able to access feeds. We have opened all the government land for people to go and farm so that they can produce enough feeds for the animals.
All right.
And that we can feed. Number three, we have talked about the new breeds that are being developed by Kagri and developing so that they can be able to sell to the market and be able to sprint to the market. The other thing we are talking about productivity, we have Nasewa, which was opened last week by the deputy president. So that it's available, it's a huge farm, so that it can grow the feeds for the animals. So that some of the investment that you've done, we have an investment that is targeted of 3 billion shillings into KCC. Right. And we have several farms we have several processes that are going to be launched soon. Last weekend we launched Kiganjo. We have Miritini that is ongoing. We have Runyeges that is ongoing. We have another one in Eldoret, so that all of our production, glutton production, can be able to be absorbed and developed and meant to product that can be exported.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That is Genesio Mugo, Chairman, Kenya Dairy Board. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, sir.
And it is on that note that we bring this conversation to a close. Let's move on and head over back to where the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is presiding over the reopening of the Nairobi Coffee Exchange auction. My name is Aguko. I hand you over back to the other side, but still, Good Morning Kenya continues.